Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Heathwyn and today we're doing a little bit of a different video. I was asked recently in one of my videos if I would do a video where I talked about what mods I use in The Sims. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today is the various gameplay mods that I use in The Sims. I'm not going to be talking about like custom content from like cast or build by, but specifically mods that affect gameplay. Down below, I'm going to link to a Google document, which will have a complete list of all of the mods that I use with links to their websites, so you can go and check them out for yourself if you are interested. Now, if you have been around this channel for any length of time, you've probably seen some of these mods at work in my gameplay. So this video is just going to kind of try to hit the highlights of the various mods, just kind of give you an idea of what it is that I use in my gameplay. And then if you are interested and want to check it out, you can head to that document and go and put it in your game yourself. I do want to warn you that some of these mods can very much drastically impact the way that your game is played and things that happen in the game, which you will. So the first two mods that I want to talk to right off the bat are both, I would say, kind of staple mods for The Sims 4. They impact a lot of different things. They have a lot of different settings. I'm not going to go through all of the details with those mods because, for one thing, there are details with them that I don't even fully understand or have used completely myself. But those two mods are MC Command Center and UI cheats. Now, both of these mods have kind of become essential for gameplay for mini simmers for a variety of reasons. So we're going to check out the mods today with the Goth family, because what better family to check out some mods with than the Goth family? We're going to start by looking at MC Command Center. Now, as I said, this is a huge mod. It's very all-encompassing. It covers a lot of different things. I'm not going to go into all of the details of it, but I am going to show you some things. Now, if you click on your sim, you will see a icon pop up that says MC Command Center in the pie menu. If you click on this, it's going to open up a menu that's going to show you a whole bunch of different things. It's going to give you the age of the sim, so you know how much time they have left in their current life stage. If they're an elder, it'll also tell you how many days they have left to live. It tells you their spouse, the number of children, where they live, what they do as a career. A lot of good basic information here. Now, if you look down, you see there is a bunch of different options. Some of the ones that I use the most often, you can use things like sim commands, where you can modify the sim and cast, modify what outfit they wear to a career, select their age so you can make them older or younger. This one kind of comes in handy if you want to kill a sim without going through all of like the actions of killing a sim. You can do this and you can pick which way they're going to die. We're not going to kill Mortimer yet. You can delete a sim. Say there's a sim that's really annoying you and you just want to get rid of them. You can do that. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can do through these menus. Another one of these menus I use quite often is MC Cheats. One of the things that I use the most with this is resetting the sim. So this will just reset your sim and make them like fix whatever it is that they're doing. Now, I can't really show you on these sims because they are the sims of the household, but you can do this on any sim at all in the game. It doesn't have to be your playable sims. And if there's a sim who's on your lot that you just want to leave, if you go through MC Cheats, you can select make the sim leave, and that sim will automatically leave your lot. And you know what I mean. There are always those sims that stay on your lot and they don't leave, and you're just like, go home already, stop taking food out of my refrigerator, setting things on fire, and using my computer. A couple other things that I use a lot. MC Dresser allows you to change your sim's outfit without like them doing anything, so you can automatically change what they look like. So just like that, through MC Dresser, we've changed Mortimer's outfit. Also through MC Dresser, and this is kind of helpful for redressing maybe some townies who look completely terrible and awful, you can click copy and paste, and you can copy whatever it is they're wearing. So like we can copy Mortimer's outfit, and then we can come over here and use MC Dresser on Jeffrey Landgrab, and we can paste Mortimer's outfit on Jeffrey Landgrab, and now Jeffrey Landgrab looks like Mortimer Goth. Now, looking at Bella Goth, we can also use MC Pregnancy, which will tell us if our sim is currently pregnant, how many children they have, what have you. And it turns out that Bella is actually pregnant with twins, a male and a female baby, and she's in her first trimester. I didn't know this, but Bella's pregnant. You can use this to change the pregnancy phase. So make it, maybe we want to speed things up and make Bella go into labor right away. You can regenerate the number of offspring for the pregnancy. So say we don't want twins, we just want a single birth. We can change that. We can end the pregnancy. Maybe we don't want Bella to be pregnant, so we can choose to change that. We can put the pregnancy on pause, and we can list the children that she has. And it will pop up over here a list of all of their children. Additionally, in MC Command Center, there are things like flags, active flags. We can make them not age. We can flag them for getting married, for having kids, things like that. And these are all settings within the individual sim itself. Now, also in MC Command Center, you can click on a mailbox, pull up MC Cheats, and you can change a lot of things. These are a lot about the lot details. You can change the time, you can change the season. It's summer right now, but say we want it to be spring. We can change the season to spring. And just like that, it is now spring in our game. So lots of useful things here. You can also summon sims. So say we want to summon Nancy Landgrab. We can type her name in, click OK, and it tells us that Nancy Landgrab will be right over. So if there's a sim like you want your sims to meet that you know their name, you can summon them to the lot. You can also do it by like listing all sims, and that's going to bring up everybody. So you have to do a lot of scrolling through this to find your sim that you want. But it's a good way to get sims to your lot, or if you want to get a ghost to your lot, anything like that. So lots of options. I'm not going to go through all of them because there's just so many. I'm kind of just hitting on the ones that I use the most. Finally, looking at MC Command Center, if you click on the computer, there's also MC Command Center settings through the computer. And through this, you can set general settings. For example, you can go to the population settings and you can alter neighborhood stories. A whole bunch of different options for moving. In MC settings, you can set various gameplay settings, autosave settings, set lifespan duration. So say you want to make elders live longer, and I've actually done this. You can change the value of the lifespan of elders, and you can do that for any age range. Some useful things if you want to adjust and tweak how your games are played. If there's something specific that you're looking for and that you want to do in MC Command Center, I highly recommend Googling it because there's almost everything you can do in the game you can do through MC Command Center. Those are just a few of the things that MC Command Center does that enhances gameplay, makes gameplay easier, just a lot of little quality life things. It gives you a lot of control over a lot of aspects of The Sims. Feel free to like dive into that. I will note that this is a script mod, so when major updates come and happen to The Sims, this mod will break and can cause problems in your game. And you'll need to update it right away. I will say that the creator of this mod is very good at keeping things updated and usually has things updated very quickly. So you shouldn't have to play too long without MC Command Center. The other quality of life mod I will say that I have in my game that I use quite a lot is the UI Cheats extension. And this mod does a lot of things to kind of make some life easier. So for example, we see that Mortimer's energy is getting very low. With the UI Cheats mod, if you click on his energy, it'll fill it right up again, just like that. You can change relationships by right-clicking. So right now we see that Mortimer and Bella have a friendship of 41 and a romance of 40. Say we want to make them perfect. We can set this to 100. Run the cheat, and you can see that their romance and their friendship bar is completely full. Also using UI Cheats, we can see that Cassandra here is on the edge of a breakout. Maybe we don't want this moodlet. We want this moodlet to go away. Or maybe it's something where the second uncle of your Sim's child has died who your Sim has never met and now they're sad. If you want to remove a moodlet, you can right click on that moodlet, and just like that with UI Cheats, the moodlet is gone. There's a lot of other things you can do with UI Cheats, and it really focuses a lot on, understandably, the UI, the user interface. So if we right click on the time, we can change the time of day in the game. We can move time forward. We cannot move time backward. So if we wanted to skip ahead 2 hours, we could set it to 17. And just like that, it's 5 p.m. One thing to note with changing the time in game, though, is that it will affect your Sim's needs accordingly. So you don't want to necessarily skip forward too far in time because your Sims could die because they haven't, eaten anything. Couple of other little things with UI cheats. For example, say your game has bugged and you know that Cassandra has listened to music for 2 hours and you want to complete this part of her aspiration. Right clicking on it will complete parts of the aspiration. Same thing with like schoolwork. We want her homework to be done, we can click on that. We can adjust job performances, make things speed things up for them. There's a lot of powerful things that you can do with UI cheats. You can also change their money. Maybe you want to give them more money. Maybe you want to try some fabricating and don't have bits and pieces. You can change that. You can change the season through UI cheats. You can also do this through MC Command Center, but it's a little bit easier to do it through UI cheats because you're just clicking on the menu. You can change the weather. Lots of different things. So this is something to play around with, but also be kind of careful with because you can mess some things up with your gameplay as well. This is also a script mod, so again, likely to break when updates happen, especially if there is an update to the UI. That's when UI cheats tends to break quite often. So just be aware of that as you're putting any of these mods into your game. They are not supported by EA, and so when updates happen to the game, your mods will break. You do want to go and check websites for updates for mods, especially when we're looking at major updates. Expansion packs come out, a lot of things break then. So be aware of that. And if your game is ever running really strangely, pull your mods out and add things back one at a time and just see what might be the problem, because things happen and mods stop working. So just be aware of that as you're playing a game, and always back up your saves because you don't want to lose anything because a mod goes rogue. So the next mod that we're going to look at doesn't so much affect gameplay, but it's kind of a fun little feature that I enjoy having in my game, and I really only use it for one particular thing, and this is the Passionate Romance mod. So if I click on Bella with Mortimer, you will see in the pie menu, there's an option for Passionate Romance. And this just gives you some various romantic interactions with your Sims that are a little bit different than what the in-game interactions are. But what I use this for the most is to take romantic selfies. All right, so they can take various romantic selfies. One of the limitations with this mod that happened when they changed the selfies is it got tied to selfies and you can't move the camera the way you used to be able to. You used to be able to move this like you could, like the Machino stuff pack camera or like the bigger cameras in game. You still have the various photo size settings, but you are kind of limited in how you can move the camera, which is a little bit unfortunate and makes this mod a little harder to use than it used to be. But like you can see they're hugging. If you randomize, you can see like they give different like romantic poses and interactions with your Sims, and they can give you some cute screenshots. So if we like use this to take a photo, sometimes things clip a little bit, like here, Bella's hair is kind of coming out of Mortimer's mouth. But there's just some various different romantic, sweet selfies that are kind of nice to have in your game if you want some romantic photos and don't want to use like a pose player. Now, if we go and look in Mortimer's inventory, let's find a spot on the wall. You can see that we have all of these photos then show up here in his inventory that we can put on the wall and add frames to. So it's kind of a nice way to add some personalized photos to your game with some customized poses. The next mod that I want to talk about is one that I've been using recently in my Whimsy's Stories Legacy Challenge. And it's a mod by Little Miss Sam, and it is a foster family mod. And this is a mod that allows your Sims to foster pets and also to foster children on their lot. It's a smaller mod, but it adds some gameplay that adds a lot of dynamic and depth to it. I will link to my Whimsy Stories Legacy Challenge down below where you can see a couple episodes where that mod is really working in play. I'm just going to show you a few of the little features here. We're not going to necessarily play with it because I am actively playing with it in that Let's Play. So go over there and check it out if you really want to see how that mod works in the game itself. But I will show you how to get it set up. It starts in Build By. If you come over here to the traits panel under the lot type, you can select lot challenges, and you will see a lot challenge that pops up called foster family. And so this will make your lot a foster home, which gives you the ability to register for the foster care network and do a bunch of things. So this lot challenge makes your home ready to be a foster home. Now, if we go back over into gameplay and we click on Bella and go to her phone, you can see that there's a foster family app on the phone. It's that same little icon, the house with a heart on it. If we click on this, we can choose our foster family settings. And with this, you can choose what you want to foster. So maybe you're not interested in fostering kids, but you want to foster cats. So you can say, we'll do kittens, adult cats, elder cats, and click OK. And then now they're a house that will foster animals. You can change the setting at any time by coming in and clicking clear foster family settings, and then it'll reset it for you. So maybe you've done enough with cats and you want to do dogs, or you want to do children. You can set this up to foster anything. Now, in my Whimsy Stories Let's Play, we're fostering children. And so Ren has been fostering teens and child Sims. She hasn't done any toddlers yet, but that is what we've been doing in that Let's Play. There isn't a setting for infants yet, but that could come in a future update of this mod. It is updated to work with infants and growing together, so it does work fine. But why don't we have Bella and Mortimer foster puppies and adult dogs for now? So we've set it for that. If we go back to this app, we can do the LMS Foster Family Network, and Bella will give them a call, and we can now register at the Foster Family Network. So this will get us registered, which means if a puppy or a dog becomes available, they will get a phone call and it will let them know. For more details on how that gameplay actually works, you can check out, like I said, my Whimsy Stories Let's Play, and you will see how all of those pop-ups and interactions work and how the mod plays out in game. It's kind of a niche sort of mod, but it's worked really well for storytelling purposes in my game. It's also one of those mods that if you only want it for like one particular save or one particular household, it's not going to have a negative or detrimental effect on any other household or save in your game. So, for example, my 100 baby household, we don't want fostering kids because she's having kids. And that's okay. I just don't register for the network. I don't add that lot challenge, and it doesn't impact my gameplay at all. Now, the final two mods that I'm going to talk about do have a significant impact on your gameplay across the board, and there are different settings and ways that you can tweak these mods to make things work and fit your gameplay style, however that might be and whatever that might look like. But I do want to warn you that these can have major impacts on the way that you play the game and the way that your game is played. So that is my warning. Like I said, if you followed any of my Legacy Challenge Let's Plays here, you will have seen how some of those mods have had a significant impact in the storytelling of my game. But I enjoy them. They do add a little bit of realism to the game and add some interest and change things up a little bit and definitely keep you on your toes. So the first of the mods that we're going to talk about is the Relationship and Pregnancy Overhaul mod. And there are a whole lot of different things that this mod adds. I don't include all of them in my gameplay. They have different modules. You're going to have to go and check out the website for this because I can't go into all of the details with all of the different modules. But what this does in a nutshell is it has an impact on the way your Sims interact with other Sims. It develops a chemistry profile is one of the modules that's used. It impacts the way your Sims think about and interact with pregnancy and having children. One of the things I really like about this mod is it gives your Sims preferences about having children. And it draws this based on their traits. So for Bella, who's a family oriented sim, she would be happy to have a child. So what this means is that if Bella were to get pregnant and have a baby, we know Bella is pregnant, she will have positive, happy moodlets about that. She'll have positive, happy moodlets about the baby. There will be sentiments that can come up surrounding this. It says she would be happy to have a child. Now, Mortimer, on the other hand, does not want a child. So if he finds out that Bella is pregnant, he's probably going to have some negative moodlets associated with that and not wanting to have a child. He's going to have a harder time accepting the child when it's born. And it creates a lot of interest in your Sims gameplay, and it gives them a preference and a way to accept having kids. So they're not just happy about having children all of the time. The other thing that this adds is it adds some social options through the pie menu under relationships, family, and pregnancy. And so with this, Mortimer can do a bunch of different things with Bella. For example, he can come up to Bella and ask Bella if she wants to have children. So he's going to say, would you like to have kids someday? And then you'll get a pop-up that says, I'd like having children. Now, if Bella asks Mortimer the same question, so she asks him that same question, how do you feel about having children? He says, I don't think I want kids at the moment. It creates some conversation points between them and can add some tea to your gameplay. Another thing that a module for this mod adds is fertility. So your Sims can be infertile or have a harder time getting pregnant than other Sims. So you can ask them to go have their fertility evaluated. You can ask about their fertility. You can ask them to use protection or not use protection, because this does add risky woohoo into your game. And that can mean that when your Sims woohoo, they have a chance of getting pregnant no matter what. Now, if it turns out that your Sims are infertile or they're having a difficult time conceiving a child, there are different options for insemination and surrogacy. This is another module that you can add. Again, I don't play with all of the modules. I'm just showing you the ones that I do have. And I have used that with my 100 baby challenge because the fertility has made it so that my Sim couldn't get pregnant. So we've inseminated and just kind of gone from there. If you click on the individual Sim, they also have a pie menu option for this. It's going to show you a few different things. You can change their thoughts on being pregnant. So like you can say that she's okay with being pregnant, not okay. So we know that Mortimer doesn't want children right now, but we can change this. Maybe we want him to want children. So we can come in and change that so that he is maybe neutral about it or would be happy to have a child. The other thing that's kind of interesting is this one, let fate and time decide the Sim's wishes. So this can make it change and shift over time. I haven't really done a whole lot with this, but this kind of seems pretty realistic to me because sometimes early in life you don't want a child, but later in life you might decide that you want one. Or you've had children and then you've decided you're done and I don't want any more. Also within this setting, you can set their woohoo health, where you can have them go and buy protection items. You can set their reproductive health, where you can set their fertility status, have them start using birth control. You can have them do a sterilization surgery. Maybe you don't want your Sims to have any more and you don't want to have to worry about protection. So you can set their fertility status. You can have it vary based on their cycle. You can also set their reproductive health. And now this is one that can be kind of triggering and is a module that you can remove easily from the game. This allows for the potential for your Sims to lose a pregnancy. As I said, this can be something very triggering for people. It may not be something that you want in your gameplay. It might be something you want to include. So you can set that risk, and this is set between 1 and 5, or 0 will make it so that they have no risk, which is what I do for my 100 baby Sim because we don't want to deal with that. Bella's kind of in the middle, so you can change this number if you want to incorporate that for storytelling purposes in your gameplay. That is a possibility, but I just want to make you aware that that is one of the modules because you might not want it in your game, and that's completely okay. So this is where you can also set things with your preferences. You can always be faithful. You can specify turn-ons and turn-offs, gender preferences. You can decide not to become friends with the Sims. You can view various relationships. There's a whole bunch of different things. You can decide to be celibate if you want to. It also comes with the Meet and Mingle app, which is kind of like a dating app for your Sims. And you can do You can set your Sims profile. You can have them try to match with other Sims. You can use it just as a way of making friends with your Sims. A lot of different possibilities. This mod really does have a significant impact on gameplay, and I really have enjoyed having it in my game for a lot of the various pieces of realism that it adds, and I think that it's really added and enhanced my gameplay quite a bit. But as I noted, there are just a few things to kind of be aware of when you're playing with this mod that might be potentially triggering for you or for other people. So just keep that in mind. The final gameplay mod that we are going to talk about today is the Healthcare Redux mod. Now, this is the mod that has probably caused the most havoc in my game so far. What the Healthcare Redux mod does is it adds health issues to your game. So your Sims can have various immunities. They can have medical emergencies. They can get sick. They can have chronic conditions. This might not be for everybody. I've enjoyed having it in my game because it has definitely spiced some things up. You can turn off settings and deactivate various settings for Sims as well. So if you don't want your Sims to die from emergencies, there's a folder that you can add in and they won't die. They'll just have the emergency and it'll be fine. Now, as I said, if you've watched my Whimsy Stories Let's Play, you will have seen this in action as well. My current generation Sim's father died of a heart attack while they were on vacation. This Sim died of a heart attack. A lot of things have happened with this mod and gameplay, so it keeps you on your toes to say the least. So I'll just show you a few little features of this mod. One of the things that it does is it sets immune system preferences for your Sim. So Bella has a strong immune system, and then you'll get these other pop-ups where they will become immune to various diseases. So she's meningitis immune. Mortimer has a weak immune system. He is not immune to anything. Cassandra also has a weak immune system, but she's immune to tuberculosis. So it just kind of adds a little bit of healthcare into your gameplay. They can develop chronic conditions, things like asthma or eczema or allergies that you have to kind of pay attention to and can affect your Sims and the way they interact with the world around them. Now, there are some pie menu options with this, but it's not as obvious. You have to go under actions, and because this is a mod by A Deep Indigo, so you can access it through this, the Healthcare Redux cheats, and this will allow you to, make some changes to your Sims. So for example, you can disable the deaths through this feature. So maybe you don't want to deal with the mod features for this. You can choose that. You can choose to disable mod deaths for the household. Maybe you don't want any of the goths to die. But you can add things like a non-deadly disease, and it gives you a bunch of options. So maybe we will give Bella a cold. So you'll see a pop-up, Bella has a cold, some rest or some home remedies over the counter can help make it go away, but watch out, it could turn into bronchitis. She has a moodlet now that she has a viral disease, she just feels awful, and it will get better over time. Now, say you want to help her out. There is an app on the phone where you can call healthcare services, and you can go visit the doctor. So she can go to the doctor and get checked out for her cold. There's other things. She can get vaccinated, she can donate blood, or she can get something from the pharmacy. So if we choose order from the online pharmacy, there's a variety of different options. She's got a cold, so maybe you want to get her some cough and cold medication that she can take to kind of help ease those symptoms. And then that'll show up in her inventory, and she can take cold medicine, and that'll help make things a little bit easier for her. She'll get a moodlet from that. The other thing that can happen is we can have a medical emergency. So for example, Mortimer, maybe he develops appendicitis. Okay, so we have added appendicitis to Mortimer, and he has a moodlet. This is where paying attention to moodlets becomes important. It says Mortimer has a sharp pain in his stomach and it doesn't seem quite right. Might want to get it checked out as soon as possible. When that pops up, if we go over to the app on the phone, we can have him call healthcare services, and we can send him to the doctor, and he can head off to the doctor. We can have him take Bella with him for, emotional support. So he'll go to the doctor, and it says he has appendicitis. Good thing it was caught early on. A simple procedure will fix him right up, but he needs to go to the hospital. So we can send him to the hospital. Okay, so Mortimer had surgery, he survived, he's feeling relieved from that, but he is going to be uncomfortable for a few days. Now, if we do not do anything, now there's a tight pressure under in Mortimer's chest. It's telling us he should go to the hospital right away. If we don't do anything about this, we're just going to kind of let this go and see what happens. Okay, now we have an anxious moodlet, emergency rush. Mortimer isn't feeling well at all. He needs to go be checked out by a doctor or get to the hospital right away. So again, we're going to just kind of play this out and see what happens. Okay, so we've had this pop up with an emergent situation that he isn't wrong, but he should definitely go to the hospital right away, and it's going to automatically send him to the hospital with this heart attack. This doesn't always happen though, because you can get this. Mortimer suffered a major heart attack, and regretfully, while the doctors did all they could, there was simply too much damage to the heart. We regret to inform you that Mortimer didn't make it. And so Mortimer Goth is dying of a heart attack. Like I said, this is something that can very significantly impact the play of your game because your Sims can die rather unexpectedly and really ruin things and mess up a lot of things. So that's just like a quick overview of some of the mods that I am playing with in the game. Like I said, there's a lot more that you can do with them. I've just kind of hit the highlights. Certainly the foster family mod, the healthcare redux mod, all of these have come into play in my Whimsy Stories Legacy Challenge. If you want to go and check out that Let's Play, you can see a little bit more of those in action. The relationship and pregnancy overhaul mod and wanting of children definitely came into play in my Elemental Legacy Challenge because my founding sim did not want children, and that had an impact on their son and the way that he grew up. So I've been playing with these in my game for quite some time. I enjoy having them in my game because they do add a little bit of variety, a little bit of spice, and a little bit of realism. So if you are interested in checking out any of these mods, down below is a link to the Google document where you can find links to all of them. Do read things though pretty carefully when you're installing them just to make sure you're not missing anything and you don't add something that you don't want. And as I said before, they can cause some issues in your game. So if you put in a mod and it starts running weird, take the mod out. You could just be having a compatibility issue. And sometimes they do clash with each other. Those are pretty much the mods that I play with in my game. I do want to make a quick note. I used to play with Slice of Life and Wonderful Whims, but since they have added the compatibility system to the game with Growing Together as well as the conversation likes and dislikes, I've taken those out of my game and I honestly haven't really missed them. So I haven't added those back. But those are a couple of other mods that a lot of simmers play with if you want to check those out. I don't have the links included in the document because I'm not playing with them, but a quick Google search will bring those up for you. And those also add things like personality types. They add additional moodlets. So if you watch some of my earlier videos, you might see that coming into play, but those are not mods that I am currently playing with in my game. I hope you all enjoyed this video. It was a little bit different, so I hope that I was able to show you the things that you wanted to see. If you do have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment in the comments below. And let me know if you liked this kind of video and I can see about the potential of making other kinds of videos like this. I usually just do Let's Plays, but if there's something specific people want, let me know and I can try and do that for you. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!